Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Red Fox Outdoors. I'm your host, Red Fox, and welcome to the Fox Brigade. So today, I've got a special one for you guys. You're gonna like it, coming up right after this. Okay guys, we're back, and like I said, I've got a special one for you, sitting right over there. So, let's go ahead and get started. So today, I have a knife review for you. This is the Civivi Elementum. Comes in the what they describe as green. To me, it's more like a kind of brownish tan kind of color. Really doesn't look green to me, but anyway, this is a paracord little tie that I put on the end of it so I can pull it out of my pocket. Comes with the actual pocket clip. It's kind of a deep carry, I guess, but I don't really consider it really a deep carry, but it fits right at the top of the pocket, which is great. It's a good little knife. Got a good action on it. Nice blade. As you can see, the action's pretty decent on it. It's a little slow sometimes, depending on how it's pulled out, but so I've had this knife for quite a while now, almost a year, or a little over a year now. I bought this from Civivi and had it shipped to me, and kind of got this sort of like Scandi grind to it, but it's not really a Scandi grind. Maybe some of you down in the comments will know what that is, but anyway, the knife is very sharp. Love the way that it looks. I just personally, I just don't like the knife. Like, it's a decent knife, don't get me wrong. I mean, it's a great knife, just it's not like my favorite knife ever. So it's a beautiful little knife. I've like freaking used the snot out of this thing. As you can see, you can probably see some of the marking on the blade from just use over time. And it's a decent little knife for what it is, the value for it, the what you pay for it. This has the what they call the assisted flip. See, half the time it doesn't even work, but it's got the little knot back here. They call it assisted, but it's not really assisted. So let's try this again. There we go. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes it doesn't want to flip, but I think a lot of that's just because the bearings in here are dirty. When I got this knife, I don't know if you can see this, but if you look real careful, that knife is not centered inside the center of it. As you can see, it's actually off to one side, which is right over here. As you can see, this big gap over here on this side, but there's like no gap here, and it's actually off center. And if I take and I can push that blade. Now, take in mind, everything on this thing is tight. Like, I mean, it is tight. Okay, so like all the screws in here are tight. You know, down in here, these two screws here are tight. These two in here are tight. This one here is tight. The action screw for the blade is very tight. Now, this blade, I don't know if you can see this or not, but it has some play in there. If I face it to you, maybe you can see it, maybe. You see that movement there in the blade between the outside here and where that blade is, you can see it moving inside that case. And I've only had this thing about a year, okay? It is a liner lock. It's got the little liner lock in here, with a little bit of jimping on it. The blade's got some nice jimping on the back of it for your thumb. Got the little sharpening choil back here on the back. A little sharpening choil there. Like I said, it is an assisted knife. It is pretty sharp still, but the only reason why it's sharp, well, right in here it's pretty dull. Right from the back side here to about here, it's actually pretty dull, and then from here up, it's still pretty sharp. As you can see, there's like a little gouge in the blade there. You can probably see it right there. Just from the hard use that I've put it through. So I mean, it's a decent little knife. It just, to me, it feels like it should be a little bit better for what I paid for it. It's not a super expensive knife. Probably $30–40 maybe. I mean, it is a decent knife. It's got the G10 scales on the outside in what they call the green. Decent little knife, pocket clip. I have issue with the knife. Like, to me, it's too small in the hand. Like, I would prefer like it maybe be maybe a ½ inch to a little bit bigger. So like maybe if it would come down to here would be nice. But as you can see, it's about center of my palm right there. So like, it just, to me, it's too small. It needs to be a little bit bigger. I really wasn't expecting the knife to be so small when I first got it. It worked great for what it is. Like, I've whittled with it. I have used it as a pry bar. I have used it to like drive screws. I've used it to put holes in stuff. I've like used like wood dowels, and I've like hollowed out the center of a wood dowel with it. Decent little knife. Got a lot of play in the blade. As you can see here, that blade just really moves a lot. So there's a lot of play in that blade there between the bearings here. I don't know if that could be corrected in any way, if there is a way to correct that, which I'm sure there probably is. Now, this thing is not spring assisted or anything like that, so like, you know, it'll fold down, you know, it doesn't like pull itself back in, like, see, so it's not spring assisted or anything. It's just on I think it's actually on washers. I think it's not actually bearings. I think it's actually washers. But this thing is pretty dirty, and it probably needs to be cleaned. Like I said, I've used it for over a year, and so I'm just now getting around to doing a review on it. I want to test these things out as I buy them, and so I can kind of tell you guys, you know, what it's like for the price. Is it worth it? Yes, it is worth it. If you don't mind a little bit of blade play in the bearings or the washers or whatever that holds it in here. I haven't actually taken this thing apart to see. Decent little knife. See, like, it didn't open all the way that time. Again, there it goes. So it's just the bearings, I think, are really dirty because I've not really like taken this thing apart to clean it or anything like that. But for $30 or $40, it's not a bad little knife. Great little knife. So it's got some nice little jimping here on the back for your thumb. You can really put some weight on it and use it. To me, the ergonomics are okay. It just, to me, feels like it needs to be just a tad bit bigger in the hand. not thicker, but just in lengthwise, I think it just needs to be a little bit longer. But it's got good ergonomics, feels good in the hand, like there's no hot spots or anything like that. So good little knife for what it is. I've had no issues with any of the screws backing out. None of that happening. It's just the amount of blade play I'm not really happy with. So as you can see there, just the amount of blade play with it. It's a decent steel knife. I don't remember the exact steel that is in this. I want to say I think it's the 16 MOV probably. Shoot, I don't remember. I'll have to look that up, or if somebody in the comments knows, maybe they can put it down in there. I've only had to sharpen this knife a couple of times in the year that I've had it. So like I said, it's a very decent knife, very pleasantly surprised with it. But like I said, I've had to sharpen it a couple of times just in a year. And I will tell you, I'm extremely hard on these things. Like, I will toss my knives, I'll throw them in the ground, I will bear down on it, really dig into the wood really hard as I'm, doing stuff, or I'll see how sharp it is. I'll see if I can make some nice long curly cues for like starting fires with. And I've used it in my kayaking trips, fishing, boating. Like I said, I've used it to like screw in screws. I've like hollowed out stuff with it. I've whittled with it. I've used it against hot metal. I've had it, actually I use it to cut food. I've used it to shave things with. So it's a great little knife, but like I said, it's not a knife that I would carry every day. There are a couple of knives that I have that I will. But this is the Civivi Elementum. There you go, guys. If I had to give this a review, I would say probably 3.5 stars is what I would give it. Mainly just because the amount of blade play that's in it, maybe a little bit longer length in it, and the action on it could be a little bit better. Maybe if you put some bearings in it instead of washers, maybe that would help. I don't know, but anyway, great little knife. Not something I would definitely carry like every day or whatever, but maybe it would be good for you. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe y'all can give it a try, see what you think of it. Like I said, I've not really had any issues other than just the blade play and having to sharpening it, but that's really about it. That and the action on it, so like it didn't open all the way there, so. There it goes. So, great little knife for what it is, about $30 to $40. It's got the little lanyard loop on it. Like I said, I've got my little tie that I've tie on it. So, great little knife. So, there you go, guys. This is the Civivi Elementum. Hope y'all enjoy, and we'll have more knife reviews coming up here soon. So, stay tuned. Till next time, guys, I've been Red Fox with Red Fox Outdoors, and we'll see you next time. Bye, guys.